just got here.
I just got here too. We're perfect timing.
Does anything in particular jump out about Dobbins, the running back?
I mean, other than size, speed combination, you know, he's got elite. I would say elite start-stop speed. So that might be something that might be if you're looking for a unique trait. I think that's unique to him. Yeah, he's kind of a jump cut runner, and he can accelerate and get to full speed very, very quickly. Some runners have building speed. Some runners make people miss by quick cuts. Some runners run people over. And I'm not saying he doesn't possess those traits, but he's got great stop speed and contact balance.
And Weber, is there anything that defines him in your mind? Weber, the backup like last year?
Yeah, no, I think he's I don't know exactly how much bigger he is, you know, on tape or whatever. I don't have their tangible traits memorized, but breaks tackles, good speed, good quickness, can do all the jobs. He looks like maybe, I don't know 100% here, but maybe he's utilized in the passing game a bit more. That they throw the ball to him a bit more, have him pass protect, maybe check release, and run some of their passing concepts where he's evolved. So he might have. Well, and the other guy's a true freshman, so it's harder to consume the whole offense when you're just a young player. Oh, I mean, we'll try to consume everything we can, just to pick up any little tidbits we might be able to pick up. It's not like, as a staff, we're not going to try to watch everything we possibly can. You might see a thing that you didn't see, a play, a formation, a shift, a trade, a hand signal, a different tempo. You know, any myriad of different things. So I don't think, you know, burying your head in the sand is positive. Now, as it relates to what the players consume, we gotta have an art form there and be very crafty. So.
When you look at that Wisconsin game again, the defensive line, which is young, relatively, I don't think you have any seniors on it. I just feel like they play, and how valuable will that experience be for those guys?
Yeah, you know, as is the case, even when I was a player, my coach would say, you know, hey, it's never as good as it's never as good as you thought it was or you think it is, but it's also never as bad. So obviously crushed about the loss, disgusted with the production up to this point as it relates to just everything. I mean, you know, if you're a fierce competitor, you don't like sitting here at 3-3, you know. But I went to bed that night, and I was really upset that I felt like we got pushed around and mauled and beat up a little bit. That did not happen. That did not happen. Okay? With 1 minute and 20 to play in the first half, they haven't scored a touchdown yet. And then a ridiculous play, completely preventable. Nothing. No, and give them credit, but we caused that score at 120. We did. Nobody got knocked down, pushed, battered. You know, that it was a few busts systematically on that play. And then with 5 minutes to play in the third quarter, they still hadn't scored their second touchdown of the game. That happened at whatever, 5:19 or whatever, 5:15. So the game should have never got to ground and pound. It's unfortunate it got to ground and pound. When the game gets to ground and pound based on score, time, and timeouts, any offense, and in particular one of the best rushing offenses historically in the country. But, you know, if you're playing against Navy, you're playing against Army, you know, you play against some of these teams that know how to really run the ball like Wisconsin. They get the ground and pound. It's very hard. You got to try to get the game to not be ground and pound. And even all those plays in the final 19 minutes of the game, because it really was 2 scores until that point. So 41 minutes defended by those players, really pretty stout and pretty well. But even after that, every single play is correctable. Every single play. It's not the players. It's not players. It was plays, and the plays are correctable. So you grade it, you watch it, and you're encouraged. I mean, you can't help but be encouraged, I would think. I was encouraged. I mean, disappointed. I don't want to minimize that for Husker Nation. Disappointed, but encouraged about the future. DeAndre's true freshman. Yeah. Ben Stilley. Yeah, I think you build a bank account of trust with plays that get corrected. You know, so what's the next play to get corrected? You know, you call a pressure, and the player away from the pressure is supposed to loop outside, and he doesn't. And the ball creases where you're, like I mentioned, flying at 8,000 feet as opposed to flying at 40,000 feet based on competition, where that player was able to push the tackle into the window, or the back was either a little bit slower or a little bit lighter and had trouble cramming it through the crease. Now you're playing Wisconsin, Ohio State, you're flying at 40,000 feet. The O-lineman is a lot harder to push back into the crease if your foot action and your assignment isn't perfect. And then that little crease, the back is more than talented enough to gas it into that window and crease it through there. So that action, just that loop step we're talking about, it needs to be perfect. It needs to be urgent. You can't be late. As soon as you know it's a ball stun, as soon as the ball moves, you go. Your foot action's perfect, so your balance and your weight distribution in your stance and on your feet needs to be perfect. There's so many things to getting done that job, that one job, and I could say at least 100 more things for each particular guy on each particular down. So so we got that corrected. Put it, log it. They care, so you know they don't typically make multiple mistakes. So we're getting better. We're better today, and we'll just continue to get better as coaches.
With someone like JT Barrett, do you run anybody other than a quarterback on the scout team to prepare for his elusive?
You know, I think you definitely could. It's a great question. Really nuts and bolts question, kind of cool. We don't really, I mean, Ohio State's offense is hard for our look team to simulate, right? That makes sense, right? Anyway, but our look team quarterback is a pretty good runner. So our look team quarterback is not Tristan, yeah. So he does a nice job running. He doesn't necessarily run like JT, but not many do, and but he does a real fine job for us. Bunch, yes sir.
Looking back at Chris Jones's debut, obviously he got some time. Do you anticipate that evolving into maybe a bigger role going?
Oh, absolutely. Everything that happened with Chris happened by design. We had a plan together as a football family, and it was executed. And it was just the right amount for him. Let's just, you know, just to get his beak wet, so to speak. And now he's going to be back in the role that you know, most people anticipated, and that is appropriate for this week. You know, this is a high tempo offense. Some of these plays come at us at 11 seconds. So they're moving very fast. I think that's Coach Wilson's touch, who's a fantastic offensive coach. I have deep respect for him and his offenses that he runs and leads. And they're moving at a high rate, similar to how his offenses ran at Indiana. So how many plays can each player play in a row? We'll see. I think all of that stuff is unique. Yeah, I think Coach Meyer does as good a job, if maybe better, than any team historically does with getting the ball to his playmakers in unique ways and utilizing them, and like I said, you know, putting pressure in areas on defense with his best players. It's pretty awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, thank you guys.